Grand Central Madison. That's the final name for the East Side Access Project of the Long Island Railroad to bring it to Grand Central Terminal. So there's been many names over the years. There's been 42nd Street Grand Central. There's Grand Central Station, like many call it, and the actual term is Grand Central Terminal. But Grand Central Madison, now, I understand why the railroad decided to go with this official name because of the fact that it runs along Madison Avenue. Although, to me, it just seems like the Long Island Railroad's continual reputation of trying to stand out as being different, which brings out some disadvantages. It's basically the DE and DM30ACs all over again. Everyone around the 2000s would like Amtrak, New Jersey Transit, well, not really New Jersey Transit, but Metro North and others all chose the Genesis locomotives, which are now being retired and replaced by the Chargers from many railroads. When, mind you, the railroad at the time, the Long Island Railroad, was still supposedly loyal EMD customers and preferred to just have a custom built locomotive for their service instead of going with the Genesis. And let's not forget the paint problem that led to the fact that there's not so many M9s on railroad property. Eh, Um, Basically, when Kawasaki was building the M9s, there was a constant back and forth on how the paint should be. Now, the more the railroad offered different suggestions and preferences, the more it aggravated Kawasaki because of the fact that actually costed Kawasaki money. And because of this, Kawasaki is no longer building any more equipment for the Long Island Railroad, or at least within due time. So now all the railroad has left is really Alstom and CRRC, and maybe Nippon Chario or Siemens, who knows. So personally, with regards to the idea of the name of Grand Central Madison, I don't like it. Like, it would have been better to just stay with Grand Central Terminal. Like for instance, the railroad already goes to Penn Station along with two other commuter railroads, namely Amtrak, who owns the place, and New Jersey Transit, and they're content with it being called Penn Station. So I don't really see the point of it being called Grand Central Madison. I mean, sure, I love that now I could probably just take the express bus all the way to Grand Central, all the way from Staten Island, of course. Although, in all fairness, the first stop when you come off the Lincoln Tunnel is basically you're at Penn Station. But the point is, there's really no point in having this idea of Grand Central Madison. I just would have been okay with Grand Central Terminal. And I'm just imagining the voiceovers for the M7s and the M9s trying to change over to this station is Grand Central Madison. Like, it doesn't roll off the tongue so easily. Cause to me, it would have been much better to like use the same voiceover on the M7As for Metro North. I mean, the ones for the M9s, don't get me wrong, are different. And again, this just goes off the idea of the fact that the Long Island Railroad always tries to stand out as different among the rest. Sure, it's the busiest commuter railroad in the United States, but at times it seems like the stupidest. And I'm sorry to say it like this, but it just seems like that. And that leads to a major disadvantage why there are problems at times on the railroad.